Okay, so The Way Back is directed by Gavin O'Connor and it stars Ben Affleck. He is a man who was really popular in high school, and since then he has become an alcoholic, working odd jobs. And one day he's offered a job to coach a high school basketball team, his alma mater, I should say, to coach their basketball team, despite the fact that he is a dangerous alcoholic. And overall, I was kind of interested in this movie because, I do like Ben Affleck as an actor. I think he's good. Gavin O'Connor, he's a pretty solid director overall. Miracle's pretty good. Warrior is really good. I didn't really care for The Accountant as much as some people did, and he's reteaming with Ben Affleck here. Hopefully for something a little bit better than The Accountant, in my opinion. And yeah, thankfully, and the trailers actually were actually very interesting as well. They looked very inspiring. They looked very powerful, I would say. And overall, this movie is very interesting, very unique in a way, and it kind of grew on me sometime after I watched it. So what works here? Honestly, the first thing, Ben Affleck. Obviously, this is one of his best performances I've seen from him in a long time. It's a very emotional performance. It's a very personal performance. If you look up information about him, you would know that he himself does deal with alcoholism, unfortunately. And you can tell that in this movie, how that's really affecting him, how it's affecting his character. And it broke my heart. It was probably one of the better performances, not just from him, but of the entire year so far. I thought it was really good. Some of the other players in the movie, they're pretty good as well. Like, they kind of have their own personalities a bit. I didn't look up any of their names, unfortunately. I definitely should have. I should have. Meanwhile, the score by Rob Simonson is really good. I really enjoyed it. I think it was a lot better in the beginning of the movie, where it's like, oh, this is really sweet. This is so nice. And obviously, like, if you watch the movie as it goes on, it definitely doesn't become nice. But it's definitely a unique score that I wouldn't mind listening to again. As for cons, there's a few things I really did not like about it. There's some awkward editing in the movie. And by that I mean, like, occasionally there's like a freeze frame at the end of a basketball game, and then the score comes up for that game. And I kind of thought that just took away from the experience a bit. Like, once it was like, oh, okay, that was random, and then they just kept doing it whenever they played a new game. And I'm like, don't do that. I think we can kind of figure out what happened. Like, kind of treat us like we're adults, try to treat us like we can know what's going on. Also, the movie kind of ended abruptly, I would say. Like, that was kind of the main issue I had with this movie for a while. It just ends. And I thought about it more and more after the movie happened, where, I'm not going to spoil or anything, but at first it felt like an abrupt ending. But then I kind of thought more and more about it afterwards, where it's like, why did that ending? Why did it end that way? Like, that's not your typical sports movie. And then the more I thought about it, I kind of realized it's not really your typical sports movie. It's not really about the sports at all. It's not really about basketball. It's really about Ben Affleck. So it's like, again, no spoilers here, but it definitely, if you're looking for your traditional sports movie where, someone wins at the end and there's like a big crowd at the end, you're not really going to see that here. If you're looking for something more personal, more well-meaning, and like a movie with a deeper meaning, I would say, then you might enjoy this movie more than you would expect. Overall, The Way Back, it was a unique movie to watch. Definitely not your typical sports movie. It has a great performance by Ben Affleck, who really is the anchor throughout this entire movie. Actually, I should say about the ending, too. Again, no spoilers, I keep saying that, but it kind of made me... The ending was definitely abrupt, but I kind of thought of it more and more based on the subject matter, whereas, like, yeah, that's the ending, but it's not really an ending. Kind of made me think more and more. Because, like, I see these things about alcoholics and how they deal with their alcoholism. And it's like, it's not really about an ending. It's about being on a path of some kind. And I thought the movie, like, thinking back to it, it actually kind of made sense of it. To how it dealt with that. So, it's definitely an interesting ending, but I don't know. I guess it all really depends on what you're looking for. Again, if you're looking for your typical sports movie, not here. But more grounded, realistic, you might enjoy it. Like, why did this movie come out in March of all year? Like, because of March Madness? Should have come out in October or something for award season. Overall, The Way Back is a very unique, interesting movie. It's not, again, not your typical sports movie. If you're looking for something a lot more deeper, a movie with a lot more heart than you expect in a realistic way, I would say, then I would definitely check this out. Ben Affleck's really good. The score's really good. And you might feel a little angry about the ending at first, but if you think more and more about it, you might appreciate it more. That's kind of how I felt at first when I saw the movie, and how I feel about it now. Overall, I'll give The Way Back 3 out of 4 stars. See it. So, what is your favorite sports movie? Or comment down below, subscribe to the channel. This is Pat, and stay safe.